Thank you, Kim. Good morning, everybody. Sabah al-khair. And welcome to the Arab Water Week, day number 2. We'll start our program today. As Kim said, we have been working in partnership and really closely with Aqua for the past, since November 2013. On implementing our project, their project, and we are still working through that, and we hope that we will be able to fulfill all our objectives and their objectives in terms of supporting and serving their constituency, being the Arab utilities. I'll give you just a brief background about the project. It is a USAID funded project. The office that is responsible for the project is the Office of Middle East Programs. It's not the bilateral mission in Jordan, no, because Aqua was in Jordan. It is the office that's responsible for all regional projects. The implementers are Chemonics International, and supporting the implementation in Jordan is EcoConsult, the Jordanian consulting firm. The duration of the project is going to be, it is going to be 24 months to 2 years. It started in September 2013 and it will be closed in September 2015. The value of the overall value of the project is $2 million. We are trying to get as much activities out of those $2 million as possible. We'll talk a little bit about the project objectives. First and foremost, we want to work with Aqua and support Aqua in promoting the concept of certification and accreditation in the region. It is already working on doing that through its activities, but we want to leverage on their interest in doing that and really actually work with them to expand the concept of certification and accreditation in the region of operators, because it was identified that there's a lot of demand for certification and accreditation of operators in order to improve the level of service delivery to the final customer. So this is our first objective, and we want to do that through capacity development and information exchange among water and wastewater utilities and professionals in the MENA region. We will be supporting all these efforts that are being done in just encouraging the utilities to give us the information needed in order for us to be able to implement this training program on a regional scale. I'm going to be talking now about us, and when I say us, I mean Aqua and the IWSMR. We are working together as one team throughout all this project. The second project objective is to scale existing water and wastewater operator certification program in Jordan and Egypt to regional application. There are 2 projects, operators training programs in the region that have been working previously. This is going on and off. The first one, everybody is, there's no problem, so I'll proceed. The first project was piloted in Jordan, training and operator certification and training. It was piloted in Jordan with very good and encouraging results. And the second one was in Egypt. So because we already have something to start with, we are going to just make sure that this is appropriate training program, certification training program for the utility operators in the region, and just expand it to other countries, to other Arab countries in the region. Thirdly, we are going to work with Aqua on identifying twinning opportunities and actually implementing those twinning opportunities. Twinning in terms of matching between the utilities based on needs, strong points, weak points, and just foster the knowledge exchange between the utilities, solutions, exchange of solutions, exchange of expertise, and we will work to make that happen in the most direct way possible between the utilities. Our project component are three components. We have three components that we are managing concurrently. The first one is supporting Aqua capacity development. We are actually going to work in partnership with Aqua to build its internal capacity, to build the internal capacity of the Secretariat to actually go about implementing their objectives, achieving their objectives, and actually carrying out the regional training program. The second is the actual implementation of the regional operator certification program in the region. The third is utility twinning and leveraging best practice. That's about actually doing the utility twinnings. So those are the three main headlines, and I'm going to give you a brief background about each of those components. Component 1, tasks. When we are talking about Aqua capacity, we have worked with Aqua on three main items. The first item was to update its strategic business plan. As we all know, or yesterday, we presented the Aqua's new strategic business plan. We have been working with Aqua for the past year through a committee from the board of directors and the secretariat to actually develop this business plan, which comes after a previous business plan for the past 5 years. So we have actually gone through a strategic review of their achievements, and we have sat together and discussed these did the SWOT analysis, the strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and threats. And we have sat together and revised the vision and the mission statement, and we accordingly started, or we did actually go through setting new strategic objectives and sub-objectives, and we went through the whole process of identifying approaches to implement those strategic activities. Strategic objectives. We have the business plan now ready, and it has been approved by the board of directors. It's going to be endorsed hopefully by the end of this conference and published online and for everybody to see. We also worked on developing a training and certification information system. This certification information system is about compiling very valuable information regarding the trainees who are going to undergo the operator certification and training program, and follow up on them in the future. I will not talk a lot about it because my colleague is going to explain about it. The third item is we worked with Aqua to prepare it to be able to receive direct funding from the USAID and other donors, of course, instead of having to get the funds through a company. In order for them to do that, they underwent an audit from a third party, and an internationally recognized third firm. This firm came into Aqua and it made its audit and it gave its recommendation to what needs to be done in order for Aqua to be able to just easily receive direct funds by USAID according to USAID requirements. And after the audit was fine. They had some points that they had to work on, and those points were identified, and a plan to remedy them or to work to just fix everything up as beautifully as possible was done, and work started, and it's already on the way. The second component, we have the actual regional water and wastewater operator certification program. So it's all about this certification and operator certification training program. It comes in two subtasks. The first one is to start with, and in order to be able to proceed with the training program, there was a certification assessment and market analysis. We want to know the size of demand in the region for certification operator, operators training and certification. So we went ahead and worked with Aqua on implementing a demand analysis. We had a survey done and administered, and we got back results to help us identify the size of demand. We did a cost-benefit analysis, and based on the results of cost-benefit analysis of implementing such a training program by Aqua for its constituents, and we built a business model for its sustainability. How can it be sustainable beyond the lifetime of IWSMR? What does Aqua need to do, and how can it really sustain this program, training and certification program, financially and otherwise? After we have done this and we realized what's the size of demand and the needs of the different utilities in the region, we worked to formulate a market plan, market-based sustainable regional training and certification approach. Knowing the needs, we started on the design of the actual regional operators training program. We looked into several items. The first one was, let's say we are going to carry out the training, we meaning Aqua, and us also working with them to do that. There will be a training assessment and plan for that, just to go on with the training, because we wanted to make sure that the impact of training, we wanted to monitor the impact of the training, operators training, and to make sure that it's really actually supporting the process of service delivery and improving operators in doing their work. That any utility that has operators who underwent this training, there's a difference in their actual operations. We actually had to look into a certification platform. Right now, the certification body for the program is the Center for Accreditation in the Jordanian Ministry of Labor. So this is the a body that is actually in the region right now, able to accredit this program. So we are using them as an accreditation body for this program in the region also, after getting the approval of the other countries' representatives in the members of the board of directors in the Aqua. To do that until another accreditation body is identified, and Aqua can work with it to also look at having it accredit this program. So right now, even in the trainings that we are carrying out in the region, the centers, the Jordanian Centers for Accreditation, is the one responsible for accrediting the program and certifying the trainees. Probably you will talk about this in your also part. Then we have the training materials that are needed to carry out the training. We already had an approved curriculum that we are revisiting and looking into, and we are using currently, but also we are adding on new topics to it as we go. The second, to continue on the subtasks under the second component, we started, now we have the demand, we understand the demand in the region for operators training. We have made our preparations in terms of impact assessment and in terms of who's going to certify the trainees and everything. We started implementing the training and making sure that the model that we have prepared is working. So the project started implementing operators trainings in the region in many countries. We have worked in West Bank and Jordan and in Lebanon. Our Yemeni colleagues came to Jordan in order to get the training in Jordan. And it's still continuing. There will be other trainings next year or this year in 2015. Of course, each of those are in a specific topic that was identified based on the needs of that country. We also are going to implement the training impact assessment to make sure that we are getting the value that is needed that we want from the training, and our objectives are met by improving the service delivery in the region. We already started the impact assessment in the West Bank and are arranging for its initiation in other countries. And finally, improved training materials and programs. I have talked about this. We are working on analyzing the existing training materials and tests, because we have tests already in place. We are looking into new curriculum to be added. And we are looking into distance learning approaches to make life easier for people. I mean, instead of having Aqua and its utility members, member utilities, just having to either the trainer and certificator, accreditator, going and traveling to the country or vice versa, we are looking into opening up for distance learning approaches and looking into the actual process of certifying trainees, also if it works through distance, based upon distance learning approaches. So this is all being considered. The third task, the third component tasks, which comes under utility twinning, we have been looking at existing twinning programs to look at the models and to look at the actual experience and to examine how can we best make use of this experience in considering twinning programs to be implemented in Aqua. This has helped us to look at a twinning model. What would be a successful twinning model that would actually really do what it's intended for in terms of supporting or encouraging knowledge exchange between the utilities in the Arab region, or even in another context, involving utilities from the outside or expertise from the outside. This was actually included in the business plan as a point to be considered. So even we have looked at, or we are looking into implementing virtual twinning as well, and linking, matchmaking between the utilities and linking them together virtually in order to identify what's the best model that can be implemented by ACWA. We are doing a baseline assessments of those utilities, what types of areas of strengths they have, what types of areas of weaknesses, what are their needs, are they open to this concept, are they open to virtual, if we end up considering virtual communication, and so on and so forth. We have started also working on some twinning arrangement. We are considering twinning arrangements. It might, I mean, until the end of the project, there might be so far 2 to 5 twinning arrangements. And we are looking into identifying funding streams, because as we all know, twinning is a costly process. So we're looking at the model that minimizes the cost, and we're looking at also other supporting funding streams, just so that ACWA can consider them in the future beyond the life of IWSMR. Eventually, the twinning is all about knowledge exchange and exchange of solutions and sharing activities that take place within the utilities in the Arab region, and promote regional good practice in all the aspects or areas of utility operations, including technical, financial, management, etc. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lena, for providing that overview of the project. And now that we've given you a broad brush, this is what the project is, we're going to focus on 2 areas in particular with the next 2 presentations. The first, we're going to look at the certification information system. This is a system that was designed by ACWA and IWSMR together and has just launched. So we'll hear more about that from Sarah Abu Salim from ACWA.
First of all, I would like to thank you for your help and support ACWA for the past 5 years. And I would like to thank you for your attending the Arab Water Week. I would like to start talking about CIS Certification Information System. That ACWA worked with IWSMR for implementing this project, and we start testing since last September. I would like to talk about more specific about CIS. CIS is Certification Information System for tracking certification needs for ACWA members in all countries.